Welcome back, guys. I know it's been some time since I've done another pre-recording, but now we are back at it again. We're doing a little bit of another three-part series, and then the next one is going to be an actual three-part series. This time around, it's going to be part one, part two, part three, and it's going to be about politics and why it's been going wrong in the West and this and that, yada yada yada. So we're doing a video reaction of deconstructing narcissism, which, by the way, this guy is a great content creator, but he did recently lose his job in some of his videos, and now he's looking for another one, and he's job hopping this and that until he leaves the West and he saves enough money, kind of like what a lot of people are doing these days. And yeah, this is a reoccurring theme that I've been seeing in all of these videos, especially those that I've talked about in about 2 years ago from another channel that's now deleted, and this and that. And now we're just doing commentary and video reaction, and yes, even free advertisement as well in most of my videos, including the other one with the DGI video. So, with that being said, let's dive right into this guy's content, and hopefully you subscribe to my channel and his channel as well, so it's a win-win for all of us.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So I talk a lot about America, right? I want to leave America, I want to do this, I want to do that.
12,
but I never really talk about why I want to leave America. Why am I trying to leave America so badly? What do other countries have that America doesn't have? So I guess let's start off with first, why do I want to leave America? What are some of the reasons why I want to leave America? It's honestly it's a combination of things. It's a long story. So I guess we can go back to, we can start with a lot of things, I think, but let's just start with one of the things, which is the healthcare system. Okay, the healthcare system in this country is abysmal. I mean, that's just putting it lightly at this point. The healthcare system is the worst healthcare system I think out of anywhere. If you had to choose between the Netherlands, if you had to choose between Sweden, if you had to choose between China, Japan, or pretty much anywhere in Europe in general, I would rather go over there for my health care than America. I mean, even Canada, and I'm not even saying Canada is perfect, but look, let's just be honest, okay? The American health system is so screwed up. I don't know many other countries where you have to go to a doctor, or you can't even go to the doctor first. You have to book an appointment sometimes weeks out in advance, and if it's a specialist, forget it. You have to book out months in advance, right, for a specialist. That's how it is. Or if you need an operation and you need to go to the emergency room, well, you're not going to go to the emergency room right away. You're going to be waiting in a long line, sometimes for 5-10 hours, even if it is an emergency. Okay, the doctors are not just going to see you because there's so many other people. They're understaffed, they're underpaid, and there's so many other people they need to see first that they can't see you. So you're out there waiting in the waiting room, twiddling your thumbs. You don't know when you're going to get seen. You don't know when you're going to be heard. And it's a nightmare. And let's talk about the fact that nobody can afford health insurance to begin with. That's why the whole insurance system was created, right? That's why the whole system where you need to either buy insurance from the marketplace, or number one, or you need to get insurance through your job, right? Well, now, a lot of people get insurance through their job. Why do they get insurance through their job? Because the insurance in the marketplace is so outrageously expensive, especially in 2026, now that all the prices have been raised to astronomical amounts. We're talking $3,000, $4,000, $500,000 a month, even plus, for a full coverage of, let's say a family of 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's what you're running here. And alone we're talking still 2-3 grand. It's insane. Yep. I am lucky enough to have health insurance through my job, okay, but there are a lot of people who don't have any benefits from the job. They're not fortunate enough to have those benefits. And a lot of jobs, they just cut your hours, they give you part-time hours, so they don't have to pay out benefits anyway. We had something called Obamacare, and now we got rid of that, so it doesn't even matter anyway. But most countries, okay, most developed countries in the world have this thing called universal health care. And I understand they pay a lot more in taxes. I understand that. But they don't have to wait in line for hours and hours and hours. They don't have to wait weeks or months out on end to see a specialist. And for some countries, you can go in and you can see a doctor or specialist right away, okay? You're not going to have to worry about dying at the hospital because they can't see you right away, or a $15,000 hospital visit.
Yeah, especially when it actually comes with gyms all around the nation just closing because they can't even keep up with the pace of inflation. Which I just watched this other video from Jay Reed, and holy freaking cow, I was shocked. Like, really? I mean, I can understand it's one thing to not afford a gym membership, but it's a whole other thing to not afford health care, car insurance, car payment, groceries in some cases, depending on where you live, or even anything at this point. There are some people that are just so done with the United States, they decided to just go to Mexico, Poland, Italy, Romania, all of these countries, and some of the countries like the UAE, Oman, and maybe even Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately, it's a hellhole in the Middle East at this point with the Iran war still going on, unfortunately. But even that, where do you go next if nothing you do is enough? That's the real question, and I don't think anybody actually talks about. I mean, you have eviction.
Are you tired of your corporate overlords owning you? It's time that you own your freedom with Retro Focus 85. It will save 20% of your entire order, regardless if you're new and old customer. You get to apply this promo code on nomadicpath.com. And if you act right now before September 15th, 2026, you will actually save a significant amount of money, your freedom and liberty, and your life. Act right now before September 15th, 2026.
Decisions do actually make it worse. But overall, there are people that are so stupid that think they can go to either Thailand or even some of these Southeast Asia countries. I know there are some of the passport bros that are getting screwed up over there. And don't get me started. I did a two-part series on the passport bros alone at this point. But guys, we need to be very honest. We're not going to live the life that our parents or grandparents or even the great grandparents once had. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Not with the way that today's old economy is right now. We have to make a new one in order to have the actual American dream. But remember one thing, I think it's been overhyped. I know that's going to piss a lot of people off. I'm going to say this, the American dream is overhyped and it's dying. It really is dying because at least about 90 to 94% of the people can't afford basic necessities, especially with how weak the dollar has become, aka the petrodollar, which is, by the way, tied into oil in the Middle East and maybe some oil all across the countries due to the post World War II era. I'm telling you, that World War II era is about to die. And it's going to get a lot uglier for probably a significant amount of people. I'm probably not going to say that it's going to be like exactly 80, 90, or even 70. It's going to be pretty close to 60 to 40%. It's probably more realistic, but that's just the overall average. But it might be worse in other states that have been suffering since 2020. But it does depend on where you live. It does actually matter. But again, that's just what we're facing right now with millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and then the next generation after that. I hate to say this, but the older generations, they had it better than we did. They had it better. And it really is the truth. Regardless if you live with your parents or by yourself or you're the head of the household, it's here. And it's been here for a long time, but now the ripples are just hard to ignore. Okay, '08 and all the 2010s, yeah, you could get through it, but now you can't. You just can't anymore. I was like, well, not anymore because they're here and they're here to stay until it just goes bye bye. It's not a joke, man. It is actually a reality. So, what he's trying to say is that health insurance is almost impossible to pay unless you actually use an app like Insurify or whatever it is. I know I heard about this app and you actually can reduce your insurance in all kinds of ways, but there are tools to get through it. But I'm not trying to say that it's impossible, but they're there. Unless I get it wrong, which let's be fair, I could get it wrong. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be the first one to say it. I could be wrong about this whole thing. We don't know. Regardless if it's pre recording or live, I could be wrong. I'm just saying, and I'm not here to shoot the messenger, but it's there. And in fact, it's been all around us all this time. It's just the question is, what are we gonna do?
Even when taking an ambulance when you only had to go 10 or 15 minutes away from your house, right? You're not going to have to worry about that. You're not going to have to be completely bankrupted by the system. You're not going to have to worry about just their greed destroying you. All right, you don't have to worry about any of that because it gets taken care of because of your taxes, because of the taxes you pay into the system. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't gone to the doctor in so long. Why I haven't done anything, because I'm getting a bunch of calls for a bunch of debt I supposedly owe, even from years ago. And I don't even remember going to the doctor then. But I'm still getting calls from debts I owe from years ago because the healthcare system's that screwed up. They're just calling me now.
No kidding.
So that's a big reason why. A really big reason why. Another reason is the money, all right? Yes, I'm fortunate enough to live in the United States of America where you can make the most amount of money you could probably make anywhere in the world, okay? I understand that there are people who literally drag their dick and balls through 10 miles of glass to get here, jump through borders. I understand. I know some people personally. But I also know most of the people at my job who I've talked to about living here and about staying here, they can't stand the culture. They can't stand the fact that they have to work their lives away. They're making their money. And as soon as they're done making their money, they're going overseas. Why? Because just like millions of Americans are realizing by going overseas, they're realizing that, wow, I can actually have a life overseas somewhere. There's actually a reason to make money, not just go to work, make money, pay bills, and still end up at the end of the month broke. No, now I have reason. Now I have purpose. There's culture over there. There's meaning.
Exactly.
There are things to do. The roads are not all paved over. Okay, there's walkable sidewalks. I can actually do things. It's not just go, 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 move, work, and then at the end of the month you have nothing to show for it. I can take my money, I can take the US dollar somewhere else, and I can live a happier, healthier life, or a version of the American dream that I want overseas with the American dollar. And like I said, most people are doing that.
Yes, and that is actually reality. And I think what he said was correct. And you know what? I've watched his videos for like the past few months, maybe even close to a year. And I can tell you one thing, he is 100% correct. There are some people that are from countries like Canada, Mexico, maybe even some of the lesser, wealthier countries from the Middle East, Europe, and even Africa. They understand that the American dream is dead. Yes, I know we have some knockers and jokers that just try to invade our borders. I get it. I get it. I understand where you're coming from, but we have to face the wall. This is going on. And if you're like a delusional person that's just like, oh, America is better than my country, well, dude, you haven't experienced the real United States. It is a lot worse than you remembered. It is much, much worse. And yeah, I tried to date this woman. I try to get her to understand that I'm trying to leave my country and go to Mexico at some point. And this woman's like, no, you need to stay in your country. I'm like, bitch, I don't have time for this stupid delusional argument. I don't have time. And look, I understand that in some sections of the country is bad, but the US is much, much worse. Yes, I know there are poor sections of each country, but America's is quickly going up and it's a lot faster, and that's reality. But some people, they don't understand what is going on for the average person. They don't. All they see is propaganda.
If you enjoy videos like this, and you're actually interested in videos like this one that just happened recently, do me a favor, like and share and comment down below and subscribe to this channel right here and right now. With that in mind, I'll see you in the next video, Innovator.